this week's edition of Chatting with Chip, our weekly conversation with Barton football head coach Chip Hester. And coach, that smile's a little bit bigger this week after your first win Saturday at Erskine, a nice 38-25 victory. First NCAA victory for Barton, which is back playing football for the first time since 1950. So a historic day. And just tell me, what was your favorite thing about Saturday's win?
Well, I think my favorite thing about it is after the game, when we're back up at right outside our locker room and seeing those guys' reaction and seeing the joy and the excitement in winning a football game, and it was a reward for all the hard work and the hours that they've spent in and the trust that they've kind of earned with their teammates, and so it was a big payoff day, and so just watching them celebrate was a pretty big deal on Saturday night.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like you said, it's only been a year and a half. That doesn't seem like a long time. Well, 3 years for you, but I mean, it has been a long time. You finally get that win, and a win that counts. Not, the Lewisburg win was great, but this goes on the record. This was always going to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. And last year they beat us fair and square, and they celebrated and had a good time, and so I was pleased that our guys responded to that, and I think our guys consider Erskine a rival, or our rival, and so it was a big deal for us. And I think one of the things that I also enjoyed about the game is I thought it was a great team win. I thought the offense played well in some spots, the defense played well in some spots. And, we won the rushing title for the day, and then won the turnover battle. So those are two big things that we talk a lot about. We didn't quite win the special teams, but I told the team yesterday, if we win 2 out of 3, and especially those two things, we're going to win some ball games.
Absolutely. Coach, I think it was your team's best performance today, and that follows the pattern of consistently getting better. I don't know how you put the first week's game into that mix, but it was the first game of the season. Definitely your best performance of the spring and fall so far. Let's get to the business at hand. I've been dying to talk to you about this one. This is a big week for you personally. You're going back to the place that you're intimately acquainted with, Shuford Stadium and Salisbury, and play Catawba. You coached there for 18 years. You were the head coach for 11. It's going to be a red letter day in the Hester household, I guess, Saturday to go home and see some old friends and try to win a game.
You want to see my Bill Belichick invitation? It's just another game. So
you're not selling that one.
This is one of those games that's as a coach, we talk to our players all the time about preparing for this every game just the same, and we will do the same things, but obviously. I spent a lot of time there. My daughters were born in Salisbury, and they consider that home. But someone asked or said today or yesterday at practice, Coach, going home? I said, no, sir. I'm home right now in Wilson, North Carolina, at Barton College. That's where I want to be. That's where my heart is, and I'm glad to be where my feet are right this second. And so, having said all that. Man, I've got a ton of friends on the other sideline. I've got players that I coach that are coaching still with them, and guys that I recruited that are on the coaching staff, and the head coach is a close friend. So it's going to be different to be on the other sideline, but man, I'm excited about what we've got going here. And although I know our players know it, but man, we've got to find a way to focus on the things that are important. And boy, it doesn't matter where I was for any amount of time. It just matters how we play on Saturday.
Well, speaking of that, what do you guys need to do to beat Catawba?
Well, I think first of all, you've got to recognize that Catawba has got it going right now. They're 2-0. They beat Erskine week 1, and then really had an impressive win against Winston-Salem State, 28-6, against a perennial playoff contending team in Winston-Salem State. So that's a big win. They've got some momentum. They've got some confidence, and they've got their quarterback back. Avent is a guy, and again, another connection. When I first got to Catawba and I was a graduate assistant, I coached his dad. So I think we were about the same age, so it's not that big a deal, or big age difference, but he might actually be the same age or maybe a year older. But he's come in and played really well. He can run it, he can throw it, and he's really the guy that stirs the pot for them and gets things going for them offensively. So I'm sure they've got a lot of confidence right now, and so we've got a big challenge ahead of us. Having said that, I think if we concentrate on ourselves and do the things that we're coached to do and trained to do, and that we do a good job as coaches, we want to be able to compete with anyone, and that includes Catawba.
Well, Coach, I think you've proven right now you've got your team first or second year or not, you've got it at a competitive level. I think opponents need to respect that at this point. It's not just a first-year program anymore or a startup team. You got a legitimate team full of freshmen and redshirt freshmen for the most part, so stand by. Well, that wraps up another episode of Chatting with Chip. We will talk to Coach Hester next week after the Catawba game, so please come back.